Ferrari might be hiding one of the biggest underperformances in recent Formula One history. Charles Leclerc has just gone public with brutal honesty about the weaknesses of the SF-25, and what he said raises serious red flags. This is the car that was meant to challenge for the title in 2025. Instead, it could be dragging Ferrari into yet another season of disappointment. But what if I told you there's a hidden level of potential in this car, one that no one has truly unlocked yet? Stick with me through this video, because what you're about to hear will change the way you look at Ferrari's 2025 campaign. But before that, Leclerc speaks out after Ferrari's double disqualification disaster. Ferrari just experienced one of the most embarrassing weekends of the 2025 season so far. And the worst part? It started with promise. After Lewis Hamilton dominated the sprint, taking pole and leading every lap to victory, there was real hope Ferrari had turned a corner. But what was shaping up to be a weekend of redemption quickly spiraled into a nightmare. Charles Leclerc has broken his silence, calling on the team to reset and bounce back in Japan. And honestly, he's absolutely right. Let's break it down. Ferrari left Shanghai with 0 points on Sunday after both cars were disqualified from the final results. That's right, no points despite Leclerc finishing P5 and Hamilton P6. Disappointing positions for a team like Ferrari, sure, but they were something. And then, they were gone. Here's what happened. Leclerc's car was found to be 1 kilogram under the minimum weight limit. Hamilton's plank, the wooden skid block underneath the car, was worn down 0.5 millimeters more than regulations allow. Now you might be thinking, that's barely anything. And you're not wrong. But in Formula One, margins matter. Regulations are strict for a reason, and the FIA had no choice but to disqualify both drivers. It's harsh, but fair. Ferrari later released a statement owning up to the mistakes. They explained that Leclerc's one-stop strategy caused more tire wear than expected, which contributed to the car dropping underweight. In Hamilton's case, they simply miscalculated plank wear by a small margin. They insisted there was no intention to gain an advantage. And honestly, I believe that. But that's not the point. In this sport, these kinds of oversights are exactly what separate title contenders from midfield runners. And here's my take. These are the kind of operational errors that continue to hold Ferrari back. The raw performance is there. The drivers are world-class. But the execution, time and time again, lets them down. That's why they're already trailing McLaren by 61 points in the Constructors' standings. And we're only 2 races in. Leclerc, clearly frustrated, took to social media after the race. He called the weekend very difficult and urged the team to regroup and push hard to turn things around in Japan. It's exactly what the fans want to hear, because what we saw in China was painful, not just because of the disqualification, but because of the wasted potential. Hamilton, who started the weekend flying, ends it with nothing to show. That sums up Ferrari's current reality. Flashes of brilliance, undone by inconsistency. Now, with the next round taking place at Suzuka, a track that demands precision and balance, the question is, can Ferrari bounce back? Or are we in for another weekend of costly mistakes? If you were frustrated watching it all unfold, let us know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think Ferrari needs to fix before Japan? Charles Leclerc didn't hold back. He said straight up, the SF-25 struggles in medium and high-speed corners. On the surface, that sounds like just another technical complaint, but this goes far deeper. This is a structural flaw in the car's entire design philosophy. For a driver as diplomatic as Leclerc to speak out like this, you know something serious is going on behind the scenes. Ferrari's weaknesses aren't just technical, they're systemic. But how did we get here? After such a promising end to 2024, how did Ferrari go backwards? The next topic reveals what happened between seasons and why it changed everything. By the end of 2024, Ferrari looked like they were back. Competitive pace, wins, and a genuine title push. But as 2025 began, it all fell apart. Over the winter, Ferrari placed their bets on improving high-speed cornering, but that focus came at a price. The car lost its balance in low and medium speed sections, and that's where modern races are often won or lost. This technical gamble backfired. The SF-25 became inconsistent, twitchy, and unpredictable from circuit to circuit. But if you think that sounds bad, wait until you hear where Ferrari actually sits in the Constructors' Championship right now. The numbers may shock you. After just 2 rounds, Ferrari are languishing in 5th place in the Constructors' table. Even more alarming, they're already 61 points adrift of McLaren. This isn't just a slow start, it's a massive setback. And it's not just the car's fault. While performance is lacking, Ferrari are also losing ground because of execution failures and critical errors off the track. So how exactly did they throw away such a promising start? The next topic dives into the operational side and how it made things even worse. It's not just about the car. In Australia, poor strategy calls cost them dearly. In China, both Leclerc and Hamilton were disqualified over technical issues, wiping out key points. These operational failures are all too familiar to Ferrari fans. The same old mistakes, the same race day collapses, and in a grid this competitive, they simply can't afford them. But despite all this, there's something important you need to know. The car does have pace. You just need to know where to look. And in the next topic, we uncover the rare moments where the SF-25 truly came alive. Leclerc topped FP2 in Melbourne. Hamilton won the sprint race in Shanghai. Are these just flukes, or do they reveal something deeper? Here's the thing. In the right conditions, the SF-25 can be fast. Really fast. When the track temp, tire window, and setup are perfect, the car performs at the front. The problem is, those perfect conditions are few and far between. So what's making the car so unpredictable? Leclerc believes it goes back to the team's winter development direction, and what he says next explains the imbalance at the core of the SF-25. In Melbourne qualifying, McLaren crushed the final sector, a section filled with technical, high-speed corners. Leclerc admitted they were very, very strong compared to Ferrari there. He hinted at tires being a factor, but it was more than that. McLaren had the grip, the balance, and the confidence. Ferrari didn't. The difference wasn't small. It was eye-opening. But even with all these issues, Leclerc was still in the mix in Shanghai, until a moment with Lewis Hamilton changed everything. What happened next was pure frustration. At the very start of the Chinese Grand Prix, Leclerc tangled with Hamilton. It damaged his car and changed his race completely. Even so, he showed remarkable pace late in the stint. He climbed the field, managed his tires well, and crossed the line P5 before that late disqualification. The big what if lingers. What could Leclerc have done with a clean race? A podium? Maybe more? But the most shocking detail was yet to come. He revealed how much downforce he lost in the collision, and the number is jaw-dropping. Leclerc later confirmed he lost around 30 points of downforce due to the contact with Hamilton. That's a massive loss, enough to make most F1 cars undrivable. Yet somehow, he still found performance. That tells us something crucial. The SF-25, even wounded, has potential. The raw pace is in there. It's just not consistent and not yet under control. Ferrari have the ingredients. Now they need to refine the recipe before this season slips away entirely. If you're still watching, you're clearly passionate about F1 and want more than just the headlines. Here at Paddock Insider, we go deeper. We break down the strategy, the development stories, and the behind-the-scenes drama that shapes each race weekend. So if you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your fellow racing fans. We're just getting started this season, and there's a lot more to come. We'll see you in the next one.